What's up, everybody? Matt Nuzzo, hanging out here, backyard at Reel. Today we're going to go over what it's like to take lessons here at Reel. So we've got right behind us, we've got our kite in, kite out accommodations, Waterman's Retreat. We've got the Reel flagship store with Waterman's Bar and Grill, the Reel Lesson Center, and the rental shop. Our private launch here, which is exclusive just for our lessons and for our people staying here in our accommodations. Then we have the Reel Slick, and then the beautiful Pamlico Sound. One of the unique things that we found out after we got into foiling is that we have the Waterman's Foil Garden right behind our shop. So a few hundred yards out, we've got chest deep water, which is great for winging and for kite foiling. One of the unique things about taking lessons here at Reel is the on-the-fly coaching. So each coach is going to have a personal watercraft with you on the water. So they're going to be right with you. No need for a headset because the coach is right there with you the whole time. You want to switch out, you can hop on the ski, they can demonstrate, or vice versa. It's so nice to see, and we're going to get to that a little later in our review to show you what it's like to be on the water. So let's go into the lesson center, check in, and see what it's like to take lessons here at Reel. So lesson center opens at 9 o'clock. The shop will be opens at 10, but if you're taking lessons, need to get stuff, you can have a private shopping hour between 9 and 10. And lessons go out at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 7 days a week. You want to show up about a half hour early before your lessons so that you're prepared, you can get suited up. Just come in your regular clothes, you'll meet your coach in the lesson center, and then they're going to take you out and tell you kind of what we're doing for the day. Conditions out here in Cape Hatteras are really hard to predict. So people calling, like freaking out about the weather 2 weeks in advance. It's gonna be thunderstorms. Don't worry about it. The conditions are really variable, changing a lot of times in our favor. Cape Hatteras is one of the hardest places in the world to predict weather. So when you come here, you might say, hey, it's gonna be lighter breeze or something like that. And what happens is that oftentimes by the end of the day, wind's gonna be good. So we're gonna do everything we can do to accommodate you while you're here for your lessons. And also, there's a lot of other stuff you can learn while you're here if the conditions aren't right. So we're up here on the back deck. This is Waterman's Bar and Grill, which opens at noon. They're open from noon to 8, 6 days a week. Got a bunch of great fresh food, fresh fish from local. We've got our lessons rigging up out back here, getting ready to go out on the water. Let's go take a look in the Reel Lesson Center. This is where you're gonna meet every day. Reel Lesson Center. So you're gonna come in, sign in, check in with the head coach for the day, and see who you're going out with. When you meet your coaches, like I said, you wanna just come in your plain clothes. They're gonna figure out what weather there's gonna be, so your wetsuit, booties. Your booties are required, so you do wanna bring those. If you don't have them, we got the retail store here, which will get you set up. We've got our classrooms right here, which will allow you to give you a little chalk talk if you have to go over some techniques, set your goals, and get you dialed in as to what you're gonna do for the day. Weather out here is really ever changing. So spring and fall, you wanna be prepared with full wetsuit, but you also could be out of those because the water temperature is the last 3 days average air temperature. It's crazy, the Pamlico Sound's so shallow, the water temperature changes that quickly. So you can talk to the coaches, the lesson center staff, and they'll get you dialed in as to what conditions you have. Say hi, people.
Hello.
These are the beautiful people that take care of you while we're here. And what you don't have, you can come into the Reel retail store, get geared up. Obviously plenty of wetsuits, booties, all the goodies. Let's go take a quick tour through the store. This place is amazing. So after your lessons, a lot of people will come through here, talk to our Reel pros like, Rutla, what's up?
We got you covered.
Could try on harnesses, go to the harness wall, tons of kites, because a lot of the equipment is one of the things that we need to teach you about, because you want to come and learn these sports so you can do them on your own, so we can get you geared up with the right equipment, but we can also teach you about all the differences, because all of our staff take sessions. We surf, we kite, we wing, we do all this stuff. Check a little foil pergola here, nice little foil display, so you can see everything that you see online, you can see in person. Oh, surfboards, there's tons of surfboards. If we don't have a surfboard to fit you, that's gonna be crazy. That's just never happened. Let's go down, and we're gonna go down and check out the rental shop to see what kind of gear you can get your hands on in your lessons. Alrighty, let's go into the rental shop, check out some of this gear. When you take lessons with Reel, you have access to the Reel rental shop, which is really unique setup. Here's Joey, getting ready, geared up. What are you doing, Joey, going for a wing lesson?
Yeah, wing lesson with the sup.
So first wing lessons oftentimes start with a sup, and the goal is to have the right equipment for where the student is, their size, and the conditions that are available. So we have tons of equipment in here. You can see tons of different twin tips, harnesses, bars, awesome rental staff, boards on boards on boards, wing boards, foils. And look, we built a loft up there, so we got tons of kites and wings all up there. And what we'll do is we'll pick the right gear for the conditions that are available. You'll be able to switch out different equipment so you can really try different gear and see what's right for you. So if you're interested in buying gear, a lot of times people take lessons just to swap out gear and have a coach work with them and explain the differences and work with them on different type of equipment so that they get the right stuff. And then while the coach is on the water, a day like today, it's gonna be southwest wind around 15, going up to about 25 by the end of the day. As that wind is switching throughout the course of the lesson, they can call into the rental shop and say, hey, I'm gassed on my 12 meter. Can you get me a 9 meter XR? They'll have the kite rigged up. The student will land the kite on the water, bring it right in. The kite will be ready for them on the land. Wham, right out. So it's super efficient and allows you to have the best equipment at all times. Also, this staff is constantly tuning and tweaking this gear to make sure it's right. So there's gonna be no dings taken on water. There's gonna be no lines that are out of tune. There's gonna be no kites that are ripped and having a new kite repair halfway through your lessons. So the goal is to make sure that your time on the water is maximized and you're with the safest and best equipment. So next stop, let's get on the water, go check out some of these lessons. Let's go check in on some of these lessons. It's awesome having the rental shop at our disposal for coaching because it just makes the coaching experience a lot more efficient and always ensures that the student is on the right equipment. Because we can call it in, switch it out, and there's really no time lost in the lesson, as opposed to a lot of other places you have to set up, break down, which set up and breakdown is really important to teach. You can see Zoe's here in the yard teaching some beginners on setup and breakdown and launching and landing. We want to make you a self-sufficient rider. And that's really important to us, is making sure that you're coming to us to learn how to kite, learn how to wing, and then from that you can go home, practice these skill sets, and continue to learn on your own. So got a few different lessons going out here today. And with this private launch here, it's nice because you can have a dedicated, quiet, safe environment to learn in. You're not worried about people coming and bombing in on you. And then out in the water, we've got huge area where we can go and learn. So if you want to ride with your friends and close to them and you're a more advanced rider, that's great. You want to go downwind and just go off and just be 100% on your own, no problem. Also for wind conditions, right? This is southwest side on shore here today, but if it's straight offshore, we can take that jet ski, go to some sandbars that are offshore and teach in knee deep to chest deep water. No matter what the conditions are, we're going to find that best conditions. That's part of coaching on the fly and part of having a real coach with the entire time with all the right equipment. All right, so we got Joey going over here. He's taking out beginner wing lessons. So he's got the SUP with the subwinder, on the ski with the sled, got the wing pumped up. He's gonna take them out to deeper water, just so they can cruise around and get a little bit more of that feel of being out in conditions that they're gonna be used to learning in. We also can then go to shallower water if we need to, but realistically what we'll probably do is he's got the wingboard with the foil on it. He's probably gonna start with the SUP, then go to the wingboard halfway through the lesson so he has the right gear for where his students are. And the goal is to make you a self-sufficient rider. So they're going winging, got some kite lessons. So let's get geared up and get on the water. All right, got my life jacket on, got my booties. The reason we require the booties is that most common injury is cutting your feet. So just put booties on, you're not gonna cut your feet. And that's gonna be for you here or at home, so then you have half your gear once you're ready to go. On our jet ski, we do have some extra room in here for storage through a jacket in here. You wanna bring a water bottle, definitely wanna stay hydrated. So we're gonna get set up here on the ski, get out there and go check out some of the lessons. All right, on the ski, ready to roll. So coaching on the fly is really one of the unique things here at Reel. Each coach has a personal watercraft that's geared up, ready for you to take you to the best terrain for the conditions that are happening that day. And that's depending on the conditions, we might need to go anywhere from 10 miles away to go find the right sandbar, the right deep water, whatever it is. It's not only a safety piece, but it's also going to be getting you in the best water conditions and also making sure you're learning the fastest possible. One of the cool things we get to do is guide service. So we can take people out to some locations that are just absolutely untouched, unspoiled. So we're teaching people of all ability levels in a variety of conditions, right? So it's not just for beginners, but we have advanced riders that will take guiding to these places that nobody kites, and the only way to get to is with a personal watercraft. It's just like backcountry skiing with a helicopter, but we're using the ski to access it. Let's go burn up to this lake and see what these people are doing up there. All right, we're up here at the tip of this lake. Zoe's over here working with the students. About to do a switch out. She did a demonstration first. Nice thing right here at the edge of this lake. We've got these place real close to the access for getting your first session, learning that first kite control. So a lot of times we'll teach people on ground with a trainer kite for a short time, and then move them right into the water because we have these conditions, so you can really learn water relaunch, four-line, sheetable, sheeting in, sheeting out. It just makes for a lot more complete learning process. So Zoe's going to switch up her kite, do some demos, do some one-on-one. And when you're doing a semi-private like these people are, she's teaching both people at the same time. And then when someone is progressing and out independently working on the skill sets they're working on, she'll be on the ski with the other student coaching through. See, this is what's happening here, this is what's happening there, this is what's going on. So when you're doing a semi-private, you can really learn quite a bit from the coach while you're working with them on the ski, and then you go back in, you had the visual aid. Private is going to be a little bit more intense, a little more focused on your specific skill set. You can see why I call them slick, because you get up here in this flat water, it's blowing about 20 right now, and it's dead flat behind this island. Other side of the island choppy, this side of the island dead flat, so you can ride this butterfly water. It's so nice. And that's where the advanced lessons really come in, because they get up here, go through this flat water. It's just absolutely amazing. Oh, Edsman's come up here with his wing lessons, so let's check it out. So right off the back side of this sandbar, we've got deep water. So Edsman's brought the foil in, which obviously is bottoming out right now, but he can drop right off the back side of this and go right into the deep water. So with his students, he's going to be working on, looks like they're working on some of the first foiling things. So they're going to anchor the ski, drop the board in the water, and then he'll coach from the ski. He'll go right along with them the entire time that she's out riding. Really cool opportunity for that coaching on the fly. Zoe with some coaching on the fly. So one student in the water, work on her board start. She's on a jet ski. She's going to be able to be easily, clearly give pointers, but as well work with the student that's on the ski. Here we go, first ride. Let's do this. So awesome. Love teaching people. Having the coach right there with you is a really nice confidence booster too, because you can hear them, you're in touch with them, they're giving you guidance, as well for safety. If for some reason something goes wrong, the coach can jump right off the ski, jump in the water, help you out, make sure that you're staying safe. Away they go, jamming. So that woman's learning to ride. She's obviously blasting off downwind, but Zoe can keep right up there on the jet ski. Edsman's going to be hopping in the deep water here, just off the back side of the sandbar. Away they go. So now we've got Craig coming up to the sandbar and the slick. He's doing what's called a toe up, so we're using that ski as a tool again. Student is driving. Craig's sitting on the back of the kite. Makes for a really efficient way to transfer around, get to the location you want to go to. Let's go back in, wrap up. We've got Austin working with a more advanced student. So he's working with this person on launching and landing from our site. So the student launched the kite. Austin is guiding him through an side onshore condition. Today is west-southwest. It's gone a little more west-southwest. So he's helping him out. The water's a little bit deeper, so he's helping out get off the land, get out into the water safely. And so again, part of being a self-sufficient rider is learning to do this stuff on your own. You can do it with a real coach, and that they're going to help you get through those things and make sure you're safe the entire way. Once the student is off and on the water, Austin's going to hop on his ski and go out and work with them on the water. So for those advanced lessons, having the ski is just as critical as your more beginner lessons. There you go, leader, doing some sound walking. Coach is getting in good shape, running back and forth, on and off the ski all day long. Definitely a good way to get fitness. Have fun, guys. Enjoy the session. All right, Griggs is taking the kite out. They're gonna get out in the water. Here we go, another one coming up. Before we launch, he's got a prep, but he's gonna go and walk over with his student. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing. This is the conditions that are happening. Nice safe launch, out in the water. Finally, these guys are geared up. These are guest watermen, hanging hanging out, getting ready, gonna go probably ride the slick on their own. So they're gonna take that caddy service, get launched, get out there. That was awesome. So many people on the water, stoked, taking sessions. And you really get a feel for how much goes into reel lessons. Like having the jet ski, coaching on the fly, access to the reel rental shop, highly trained staff. I mean, our staff has been years and years of training. A lot of people are doing this for a lot of years themselves, but also the culmination of 20+ years of development into these systems and programs, making sure we have our trainers, our managers, everyone in place to make sure that your experience of reel is gonna be top notch. After your lesson, you're gonna go back to the Reel Lesson Center and check out. At that time, you can grab a beer on the back deck, a Waterman's Retreat, go out for your next lesson, whatever you need to do. If you want to go to the rental shop and ask about the gear you use or go to the retail store, you can do that as well. If you have more questions about booking lessons at Reel or accommodations or coming to visit us out here in Cape Hatteras, give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000, or reach out online, realwatersports.com. See you guys on the water for the next session.